copy.
Oh, copy.
So copy do have some pretty fancy pants on them. The stripes you see over there might remind you of a zebra. They're in fact going to be more closely related to the giraffe. They have very similar skeletal structures and long three-hand cell tongues, just like giraffe on the savannah too. I do see another animal for you here to your left. This is your first antelope of the video to be seen.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Orange in color that got some long spiral.
Oh, I'm kind of stuck within the trees.
Very, very shy, very reclusive animal. So much so that scientists will actually refer to them as the ghosts of the forest. They're how very rarely they're seen. So pretty cool to be seeing them right now. You got a saddle-built stork walking towards you on your right over there. There's a very large bird. They stand around 5 feet. So they also have 9-foot long wingspans. About the same length as the on top there is to your right. It looks like they might actually be constructing a nest up there. You can see a cluster of six on top of that hill. And speaking of big animals, this one here to your left is actually the biggest one in the forest. Laying down right there is the black rhinoceros. Black rhinos are the largest animal in the forest, but they're also the smallest of the vibrant subspecies. At around 3,000 pounds. We do have two here on the reserve, two different kinds of rhinos. That is, there's going to be another one, the white rhinoceros, a little bit larger than the black rhino. But we're going to try to find as we continue our journey to the city in a couple minutes. Santa here head out of the forest.
Antelope.
They're going to have some stripes along their back, similar to the bongo. Those stripes are what they use as their.
But I know he tastes good fried up.
The sun. It's really, really tricky to spot under some of these trees. Heading out of the thickest of those trees, we're leaving the little cherry forest and moving on into a much more aquatic ecosystem next. The next landscape we're going to be checking out is known as the Softy River. Now, the river, as you might imagine, is going to be
Hold on.
You might see a hippo or two down there. Not going to be your best view of some, so don't worry. You can't catch them. We're going to try to find you a few more as we continue forward. Just
The hippos over there. Ooh. Ooh. Who need a mint?
Let's see if we can find you any more hippos as we go to this side of the river. Be looking for shadows moving underneath that surface. That is where they spend a majority of their lifetime. They're pretty prone to sunburn and overheating. Water can help out with both of those issues. Now, they're pretty large animals, though. They do weigh 5,500 pounds. That's around the same size as your average size SUV. Because of that spot size, despite how much time they spend in the water, they're not actually very good swimmers. They sink right down to the bottom. So instead, you'll see them running along the rivers they live in, kind of like a horse would. And that's how they get their name, hippopotamus. It's a Latin word that means river horse. See a
he living his life for real.
Towards that water.
Hippo down there. There's some hippos down there.
Make sure we get here because we're seated at all.
Look at that guy. Water. You can barely see it. Oh.
Also up ahead here, kind of a scary looking animal to your left.
Crocodile. Oh, they native down here.
Just make sure we are staying all the way fully seated. Those are very real crocodile, I promise. 9 crocodiles are the largest crocodilian here now. They do get to be.
Oh my God.
It's the second time today as well that we've mentioned that word giraffe. One's back in the forest with you, copy, another one right here with the crocodile.
What's up, WWE? Appreciate you.
So, some of the giraffe. We're moving into their domain now, the savannah. Largest portion of the reserve. Home to lots of familiar faces like giraffe. There's also a zebra we might be looking for, elephants. And as we turn this corner, the first thing you're probably going to notice out there is a lot less trees. And some of the trees you do see look a little bit funky to survive the drier climates they experience, including this one here on your right. Big, funky looking tree with a funky name to it. It's called the baobab tree.
Okay.
Now, baobabs like that do remain leafless for around 9 months, and they store tons of water in those really, really big chunks of theirs. Kind of like big water towers, will provide the water to animals all across the savannah during the dry season. Because of that, you'll sometimes hear them referred to as the tree of life.
I don't know. Really. Zebra.
As we head down this hill, you're about to see one of my favorite songs entire reserve. I was like, you see how far across the savannah in front of you, and I'm going to give you a little preview as well. Some of the animals we'll be taking a closer look at here in a moment. I already got some familiar faces for you. There's some zebra to your right. I do see some giraffe out there. We'll pull forward. Looks like a majority of them are on that.
So we're about to see some zebras and some giraffes.
A little bit more about them once we do. Now, for the time being, we're going to head in this direction, see if we can find Jay. Speak of that.
That's so weird. Wait, you didn't take a single piece of shirt.
And just a moment, you're going to see a large bin of rocks to your left-hand side. Sometimes you see some predators around this den. And I do see them. They're not in the den right now. They're over towards the left of this clearing. There's this big tree in the middle of the field, and just to the left of it in the shade.
Oh, I see it.
Some African dogs. Three or four of them.
Then the ones that came for Simba.
Past this boulder, you have to see.
Says those are the ones that came for Simba. They laying down. They laying down.
Dogs are not quite like your pets at home. They are wild dogs. Really, really good endurance runners, though.
Oh, that's all
They
right.
can reach speeds of 40 miles per hour and maintain that for nearly 3 miles.
Imagine getting chased by that.
Effective
Oh,
and they might be looking for things like these antelope down the path to your left. There's dark brown ones out there with really long horns. Those are called a sable antelope. A sable antelope are actually one of my favorite animals out here. They're known for their fighting spirit. They're going to be one of the few antelope species that you'll find documented to turn and fight.
Yeah, outside. Wow.
Running. Pretty cool when you see them turn and fight off a lion, which they happen to do.
Are you busy right now?
Get a little bit closer now to some of those zebra and giraffe out there. You're probably familiar with both of those words. You might not have known that there's 2 kinds of both of those animals. 3 different kinds of zebra, 7 different kinds of giraffe. And the zebra we're about to see.
Oh yeah, we gotta get a focus.
That's really good to
Can you see the zebra and the giraffe?
get your little see these first.
12:53.
The stripes are unique, so the
Great
entrance are
time.
going to look exactly the same, just like you can would. You can also use the family members. I'll keep track of those other zebra in a large group.
White with black stripes for sure.
There is a giraffe back there with them as well, and there's some springbok in the bushes to your right, way up there towards that tree line.
That's the national animal.
Species that we're looking at right now is a group of Maasai giraffe, M-A-S-A-I.
Look at that.
Shape than some others are. They almost look like jigsaw puzzle pieces that have been fit together.
Oh my gosh. Hey, take a picture. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Carter, take a selfie.
Baby giraffe.
Yeah. That's Jeffrey.
Here comes this little baby giraffe. This is right there. So wildebeest. So we have
Somebody take a screenshot. Somebody take a screenshot.
this little baby. We're calling him little, but the joke is he's taller than everyone in this truck already. They start off pretty tall, around 6 feet. They only go up from there. They get to be 18 to 20. They're tallest. Because of that height, a group of giraffe, because you do often find them in a herd, also has kind of an interesting name. They're known as a tower of giraffe.
Makes sense. They're gonna fit in a diaper. Yeah,
Now, the little beast you may or may not have seen on the top.
if you can.
We'll see him again.
Fast.
We're going to run to the back of this hill on your right in just a couple minutes. Check out a few more animals over there. Before we
I can't
do,
believe Coco fell asleep.
we start to head in this direction. There's a lot of down trees in front of us. It looks like something big has been through here recently. So I'm going to take a guess now and don't say we might be about to head deeper into elephant territory.
Elephant. Oh, what's that? What's that? Um,
I don't think we're gonna have to look around too far. Right? See two of them out sitting here.
oh,
Right. Well, they look like females as well. Females are a little bit smaller than males are. And females like this also are much more social. So you'll see them in pairs or in larger herds. Males are going to be very isolated, choosing to stick it out on their own, usually separated from the rest of the group. Really quick.
and wow,
Off the hill to your left, you'll see a big monkey walking around up there. Way in the back, that was a angel.
oh, imagine it. He going back to like what's here. He's a mandrill. I am not the baboon.
Yeah, that was. Oh yeah. So it's happening. Scary colorful back.
I am a mandrill. Rafiki, yeah. Oh, look at the ears.
Try to find you a couple more.
Do I do the elephant call? Tell your mom do the elephant call.
Birds I know that live in this area, one particular around here does have a little. So if we're really lucky today, make sure to find you.
1913.
Sightings like those two are unfortunately though getting a little bit more few and far bit to be. They're going to be one of the likely endangered animals here on the reserve, finding themselves especially lots of human conflict with poachers for their ivory tusks and also lesser known farmers. They'll often encroach on farmers' land and eat their crop. This has unfortunately led to the loss of some life. So, scientists here on the reserve have been working really super duper hard trying to come up with a solution to that. And in doing so, they were able to figure out that elephants are actually terrified of honeybees, of all things. They have very sensitive skin. So if they hear that buzzing in the wild, they'll run away in the other direction. So working with scientists, these farmers were able to do what's known as a beehive. That's like a big beehive. All around their fields, helps them protect their crop from these elephants. And in turn, it's also going to keep these elephants safe. So it's a win-win for everyone involved in that situation. Even the bees get some free lodging out of it. I think I do see one of those birds way off in the distance over there. They're like way on the other side of this clearing. We're going to try to get you a little bit closer look at them. We're going to head over in that direction. This clearing does go pretty far back there, so let's see what we can do as we keep on moving forward. There's at least one more big waterfall that I know of at the end of this path. We're about to go through, I believe. Now, those watering holes are one of the ways elephants just stay cool and beat the heat out here on the savannah. They're like big cool days for them. You'll see them swimming around in there. They stay hydrated with that water. They're also going to suck up water into their trunks and spray it along their backs, not only to cool down, but also
It is.
I never feel like that. At least that's kind of like a natural sunscreen for them. So protect their skin from the rays of the sun.
They having a meeting. Is that water?
It's going to be so we turn. There's a ridge towards your left, and they're just on the other ridge. Large group back there. I think there might have even been a little baby with them.
We in the water, y'all.
I love everybody. There's that little baby back there. She's going to enjoy on the other side of the baby. Those are also on your left hand side. These very brightly colored birds. These are some greater flamingo. These flamingo are going to be the largest subspecies of flamingo. Also with flamingo speaks.
Those are the accents.
Beta carrot. That's a protein that they eat in their diet.
But oh, but you got it already. Sorry.
How many elephants?
Yeah, go ahead.
Three. You're on the red.
You got it.
It's three elephants.
This is another kind of interesting river right here as well. Remember we had that floating that goes back in the river? We saw a tower of giraffe on the savannah. There was also dazzles of
Look,
right?
the flamingos.
This is a flamboyance of flamingos.
Flamboyant.
In the water.
Who's going short?
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
Let's pull through some red rocks here in front of us. These rocks are the barrier between the western and easternmost regions of the savannah. And in just a second, we're going to see a little bit of a terrain change. It's about to get a lot muddier and a lot rockier. There's a few key animals out here that really, really like this new habitat. One in particular we've actually already seen today. We're just looking for a different kind. We're looking for a few of those white rhinos that I mentioned. So they really, really like the muddy landscape. They'll roll around in it. Does the same thing that the elephants use that mud for. It helps them cool down and protects them from the sun. Another kind of animal we'll be looking for out here that really likes the rocky terrain is going to be things like big cats. So cheetah, lions, that's what we're keeping an eye out for. They're going to jump up on top of those rocks, use them as a lookout point, help them search the savannah for prey. Really quick, there's some ostrich way down on the other side of the map, but we'll see them again in a couple minutes. So don't worry, that's not going to be your best view of them.
So what's stopping them from,
See if we can find you any.
That's what's stopping them, I think go different ones. And she goes over that the spring thing. So I think as they're walking, they step on it. They
Do you see some?
so I think that's why.
There's a bush kind of towards
That
the.
makes sense.
And there's a cheetah right underneath it.
For real.
She's facing away from us.
I'm dead though. I don't care. All the way back there.
You can almost just see her silhouette. See if there's
I
maybe.
see it, chill.
Now, they are, of course, the fastest animal
I don't
in the
know.
land, speeds of 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds, capping out at around 70. And while they're pretty much fast, they're not going to be able to beat
I'm thinking sneaking with us and go out in the wild. That'd be gone. You don't see that cheetah right there? Absolutely not.
Right.
DJ. I think I wish that would be the lion.
I'd have heard that man say, "It was over." Hey,
I don't see those lions just yet, but we have found a couple of rhinos for you.
you saw me?
Oh, that's you're right as well as a
Oh.
That's that brown shaggy.
Oh, bigger.
Now, white rhinos are going to be larger than the black rhinoceros we saw earlier by around 2,000 pounds.
It looks like a
Despite what their name suggests, they're not actually much lighter in color. The name came from the mistranslation of a Dutch word, white, W-E-I-T-E-Y, because they do have much wider mouths to create their mouths.
Okay. Oh, no.
I don't think I see any of those lions up there. If they were around, you'd probably hear them before you saw them. They do have really powerful roars. Nearly 5 miles away, they're so loud. You're really, really because they are my favorite. I do recommend you come back a little later on in the day. They are not loud. So those last few safaris of the day today, they're going to wake up, be a lot more active. Usually.
Wait, lions are not tons? I never know myself. Wait, no, sir.
We will see the rhinos again now on your right. And the ostrich should be just on the other side of the ground. They're laying down in that tree line in the shade back there. Look at those tree stumps. See two heads sticking up. Yeah, you can able to see it back there.
Oh. 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 Hey, yo. Oh, nah, this was worth the money.
You guys see?
Is this what Africa's supposed to look like? Because this is like two things in one there.
Now, ostriches are not going to construct us like moose.
Oh, ostrich eggs?
Just like that.
Let me
The
get one.
female will lay hers towards the center of the flesh, which provides it an optimal spot to stay protected. And they're pretty sturdy, so it's all right that they're unsupervised. They are so tough that if you took a fully grown adult, I would stand on, their shells would be able to withstand that weight and
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, look at this. This one got a fence here. That's how they know.
Final stop on the reserve, a place called the Magadi Glen. Now, the Glen, in my opinion, is going to be home to one of the most fearsome, one of the most
Yeah, that's me right there.
Tierra Verde that lives out here. The night.
That's me. That's the goat.
A lot of villagers like to keep these guys around because they produce a pretty sweet.
I don't know if it's safe.
I like to think they
For
keep
about a house.
super cute, even when they find themselves
Up in the truck too. Goes out here. Stay up in the truck.
No, the room is gated for us. That means we're officially going to be leaving the reserve and unfortunately nearing the end of our safari. As we head back down to the village, I'm going to take this time to get a little bit more serious with y'all. Because the harsh reality is that a lot of the animals we just saw are threatened or endangered in some way. A lot of that's due to human involvement, unfortunately. So conservation is something that's more important than ever has been before. I know you all may be thinking, what can one person do to possibly make a difference? It feels super overwhelming. The answer is a lot simpler than you probably first expect. It's as easy as turning off light switches when you leave the room or shutting off water that's not used when you're brushing. A lot of little things like that we put together.
In the water.
I like to think of it not only as our job to protect the earth, but rather as a job. Because we love the animals out here. We want to make sure they stick around as long as possible for future generations and ourselves. Sure. Remember, we're getting you closer to the village up ahead, so just a moment for us to be dropping all off that power to a Blue Johnson for us at Shelf Free. Just I do hope you all enjoyed your safari today. Enjoy a lot of the animals out there as well.
Everybody before.
Of course, if you've got any questions, comments, concerns about anything
Who?
you saw or
Where's
heard,
my windows?
my windows are quite literally always
Okay.
open. So feel free to pop your head in after, even if you just want to say hi. You are
Okay.
more than welcome to
Wait,
do
who's
so.
taking the photo? All right. Let's see how we do next adventure.
These two dots here